We've all heard this saying that stress can kill. But even though life has its ups and downs, many don't do anything until their health is affected. So how can you see just how close you may be to a health breakdown? Well, one way is to take a life stress inventory test, which you can do right now from the comfort of your home. By the end of this video, you will total up your social readjustment rating, and based on that rating, you will either A, have a low susceptibility to a major health breakdown, B, have a 50% chance of a major health breakdown within the next 2 years, or C, have an 80% chance of a major health breakdown within the next 2 years. I'm Maddie Owens with IamFitandFabulous.com. If you're new here, this channel is for women who want to learn healthy behaviors and empower themselves to create lasting changes in their lives. Don't forget to subscribe. Welcome to this week's self-care practice. Go ahead and grab your journal so that you can participate in today's exercises. Next, we're going to complete the Holmes Rahe Life Stress Inventory. On a new page in your journal, I want you to write my social readjustment rating. I'm going to describe different life events, and I want you to write down any that have happened to you in the past year. You're also going to write down the corresponding number to each event, and then we're going to add up all of these numbers at the very end, and then I'll give you your rating. If you've experienced the death of a spouse, please write down 100. If you've experienced divorce, please write down 73. If you've experienced a marital separation from your mate, please write down 65. If you've experienced detention in jail or any other institution, please write down 63. If you've experienced the death of a close family member, please write down 63. If you've experienced a major personal injury or illness, please write down 53. If you're new to marriage, please write down 50. If you've experienced being fired at work, please write down 47. If you've experienced marital reconciliation with a mate, please write down 45. If you've retired from work, please write down 45. If you've experienced a major change in the health or behavior of a family member, please write down 44. If you've experienced a pregnancy, please write down 40. If you've experienced sexual difficulties, please write down 39. If you've gained a new family member, whether it's a birth, adoption, or somebody moving in, please write down 39. If you went through a major business readjustment, please write down 39. If you've experienced a major change in your financial state, whether it's better or worse, please write down 38. If you've experienced the death of a close friend, please write down 37. If you've changed to a different line of work, please write down 36. If there's been a major change in the amount of arguments with your spouse, whether it's more or less, please write down 35. If you took on a mortgage, please write down 31. If you foreclosed on a mortgage or loan, please write down 30. If you've experienced major changes in your responsibility at work, whether it's a promotion or demotion, please write down 29. If your son or daughter left home, please write down 29. If you've experienced in-law troubles, please write down 29. If you've had an outstanding personal achievement, please write down 28. If your spouse began or stopped working outside of the house, please write down 26. If you began or stopped formal schooling, please write down 26. If you've experienced any major change in your living conditions, whether it's remodeling or a new home, please write down 25. If you've made any adjustments to your personal habits, maybe the way you dress, who you associate with, maybe you quit smoking, please write down 24. If you've had troubles with your boss, please write down 23. If you've experienced major changes in your working hours or conditions, please write down 20. If you've experienced changes in a residence, please write down 20. If you've changed to a new school, please write down 20. If there's been a major change in your type or amount of recreation, please write down 19. If there's been a major change in your activity at church, please write down 19. If there's been a major change in your social activities, please write down 18. If you took on a new loan, maybe for a car or TV, please write down 17. If there's been any major change in your sleeping habits, whether it's more or less, please write down 16. If there's been a major change in the number of family get-togethers, whether it's more or less, please write down 15. If there's been a major change in your eating habits, whether it's takeout versus cooking, more or less, please write down 15. If you've experienced any vacations, please write down 13. If you've celebrated any major holidays, please write down 12. If you've experienced any minor violation of the law, perhaps a traffic ticket, please write down 7. Now go ahead and take some time to add all of these numbers up. Now here are the ratings. If you have 150 points or less, you went through relatively low life changes this past year. This also means that you have a low susceptibility to a stress-induced health breakdown. If you have between 151 and 300 points, you have a 50% chance of a major health breakdown within the next 2 years. If you have 301 or more points, you have an 80% chance of a major health breakdown in the next 2 years. Next week, we're going to talk about how you cope with this stress in the hopes of avoiding a health breakdown. Thank you for attending today's self-care practice. Your fit and fabulous life depends on you managing your stress. I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with you. We're going to get there one practice at a time. Until next time. The next video in this series will dive into how to cope with that stress. And in the meantime, here are my recommended videos.